for it. Let's do this. We are on. Hey guys, how you going? So down BK Sport. We are live for the North Queensland Cowboys taking on the Melbourne Storm in a big context game for the top of the table. It can really start to put a separator between the Raiders and the Storm. And also, the Bulldogs would drop out at the top two if the Storm win it today. But very origin depleted lineup here for Melbourne. On the flip side, the Cowboys, they're fighting for their top 8 hopes right now, and there's a lot of teams around there, so they need to get a big old move on. They don't have to worry about points differential because of the fact they had that draw with the Panthers, so huge game here in the context for both teams. But Origin Game 3 coming up on Wednesday. We'll be live for it. Really looking forward to that. And then once that finishes, we're on the back stretch, baby. We are on the home stretch. But let's run through these two team lineups. The game starts in 5 minutes' time. See that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. And let's get into it. So the Cowboys, they come into this game from 12th position. The Storm come into this game from 3rd position. And this is at Queensland Country Bank Stadium up there in Townsville. The ins here for the Cowboys, Braden Burns, John Bateman, Jordan McLean, Marley Bitongane, and Temple Kalepo. With the outs being Jeremiah Nene, Murray Talangi, Reece Robson, Ruben Cotter, and Tom Dearden. So some huge outs there for Origin. Now the fullback is Scott Drinkwater, who was the captain. Wingers of Robert Derby and Braden Burns, who comes in as the 18th man onto the wing. Centers are Jackson Purdue and Zach Labour. You go to the 5'8", which is Jake Clifford. Halfback of Thomas Duffy, with the front row forwards being Jordan McLean and Griffin Neem. Number 9 is Harrison Edwards. The back row is John Bateman and Kai O'Donnell, with the 13 being Sammy McIntyre. Interchange of Temple Kalepu, who I believe, I would assume, is on debut here. Thomas McHale, Caden Lars, and Cohen Hess, with the 18th man replacement being Marley Bitongane, and the coach is Todd Payton. Now, because we've got a short amount of time, we have to jump over to the Storm team lineup here. Ins, Ativalu Lisati, Kobe Williamson, Joe Chan, Jonah Pezzett, Kane Bradley, Lazarus Varlepu, and Sialangi Tui Malatu Brown will come in, with the outs being a lot of players here. Munster, Harry Grant, Ryan Little Bobby Ryan Pappenhausen, he's out. Stefano Tukumanu, Suala Alvi Farlongo, Trent Loyero, and Xavier Coates. A lot of outs there for the Storm. Damn, that's a ridiculous amount of outs. The fullback is Nick Meaney, who was originally meant to be in the centres. He's shifted from the centre to the fullback, with the wingers being Kane Bradley, who was originally the 5 on the other side of the field. Now he's playing in the 2, alongside Siwalangi Tuimalatu Brown, who was on debut, I would assume, on the wing. He was originally the 22nd man. Then you got to the centres. Grant Anderson shifts from the wing to the centre alongside Joe Chan, who's switched sides of the field as well. The 5'8" is Tyron Wishart, with the halfback being Jerome Hughes, the captain. Front row forwards are Tui Kamikamitha and Josh King, with the number 9 being Bronson Garlick. You go to the back row of Sean Bloor and Eliezer Katoa, with the 13 being Alec McDonald, who was originally meant to be on the bench. Now he's starting. Nelson Salamona, originally starting. Now he's on the bench alongside Jonah Pezzett, Lazarus Varlepu, and Ativalu Lisati. The reserves, the 18th man replacement is Kobe Williamson, and the coach is Craig Bellamy. I actually nearly want to tip the Cows here, but it's a really tough game to predict. I will still take the Storm. I think this is as 50-50 as 50-50 gets. Both teams are without a significant amount of players. Storm without more, though. Munster, Grant, Pappenhausen, Utukamanu, Fa'alongo, Loyero, and Xavier Coates. That's 7 outs, man, compared to the 5 of the Cowboys. The Cowboys are just as significant to their team and to the context of their squad. So, look, I don't know who to predict here. I actually am going to take the Storm here still, despite the fact they've had to change a lot around, but honestly, just throw a dart blindfolded, and whoever it lands on is who wins. Honestly, if you're having a bet on this game, don't, probably. Or just go with the underdog and then hope for the best, because it is just literally decimated by Origin and then also injuries as well. Now, regards to the ladder, the Raiders have just won, so they're on 30 points. They're plus 108. Storm, they're in 3rd position on 26 points, which is equal with the Warriors, but their points differential is plus 196. Now, if the Storm were to go and win this game, they would go up into 2nd position. And, I've actually got this on the wrong thing. So we'll go into 2nd position. They don't have to win by literally anything. If they win by 1, they go above the Dogs because they're on plus 207 right now. No, sorry, they're on, what are they on? They are on plus 196 right now. The Dogs are on plus 92, so they would jump them, and the Dogs would fall into 3rd position. And that's where the Storm would finish this weekend, regardless of the Warriors. Have already had their bye, haven't they? Actually, I'm looking at this on a different platform. Hold on, let me quickly go, and it's a lot easier for me to just do it on the normal ladder rather than the ladder predictor. That confused me. So yeah, the Storm, they win this game, they will finish this week in 2nd, and the Bulldogs will drop off into the 3rd. if the Storm lose this game, the Warriors have already received their bye, so don't worry about them dropping off behind them, because plus 196 to plus 11 for the Warriors. That is nearly a 200-point swing. It's like 180-odd points swing, points differential-wise. The Storm would finish in third, and there'd be 2 points behind the Bulldogs, who would be 2 points behind the Raiders, and that would really mix up the top three there. And the Raiders would be really heavily looking at a minor premiership for the first time in a long time, because they've got both their buys still remaining, whilst the Bulldogs and Storm have played all three of their buys. So massive benefit there to the Raiders, especially after their win just before. Now, on the other side, the Cowboys, they're on the uneven point system because they drew with the Panthers earlier on the season. They're on 17 points. They're on 12th position. Who cares about the points differential unless they're close to the Panthers? They're still 4 points away from them, minus 134 compared to the Panthers, plus 3. So don't even worry about that right now. If the Cowboys win this game, they would jump above the Dragons and Manly into 10th position. That's as high as they can go. But Manly play the Rabbitohs tomorrow, so that'll be interesting. If Manly do win, they would go back above the Cowboys. And I do have Manly to probably win that game, so I'd probably put Cowboys in 11th by the end of this round if they win. If they lose this game, however, the Knights and the Eels have both already received their bye, so they will finish in 12th position. So, look, the Cowboys are just effectively fighting for their season in a lot of ways at this point. I know there's a long way to go in the season, but you have to be winning games, especially, in this period where the Storm are reduced numbers-wise. I know you're reduced numbers-wise too, but it's like the Storm can forgive a loss. The Cowboys can't really forgive a loss at the moment. So, it is a very important game here. Very important game for the Cowboys, regardless of how many players they do have out. There you go, guys. I am going to tip the Storm. Honestly, have no idea how to tip this game with all those players out for both teams. I will tip the Storm, but it's just 50-50, dude. It is quite literally 50-50, and I'm probably going to bank on Jerome Hughes being the guy to get him over the line. But hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here. The game is about to start. Cowboys and Storm are out in the field. I'm going to refresh this score just beforehand, just so that I don't have to hear Jay crying like usual. By the way, Jay, you like the new headband? I switched it. You told me to switch it. And I did. Mate, I've never been more on fire in my life. Not only do I remember to refresh the score, but I've also got a colourful headband on for you. You got to appreciate it. Professional over you. Professional headband changer. Aloia Lacana says, let's go the Storm. Ads Gaines says, let's go Storm. Good to see that everyone's getting the correct name here. Cal J, get around ya. Unfortunate result from the Titans girls. Oh no, what was the score? Oh, yikes. So, Cowboys will kick it off here to the Storm, and they are going to be coming out from about 3 minutes out. Tyron Wishart gets it off here to Big Tosoviti to Kamakamita, who's apparently looking for a team for next year. Eagle Cap says, Bulldogs on fraud load is diabolical, but I love it. And well, listen, they had a great game last week against the Panthers. I'll give it to you. They had a great game against the Panthers. But this week, you're up 18-0. I know you got players out, but the Broncos also have a lot of players out. A bit of this, a bit of that, bit of shaking all about, mate. The Bulldogs on fraud alert. It is what it is at this point. Even Bulldogs fans were begging me last night to put them on fraud alert, mind you. I was hesitant. I want to lay this for the record. Fit tackle here for the Storm at the 40. I want you guys to solidify this on the record that I was hesitant to put the Bulldogs on fraud alert. Charge down here from the Cowboys. So the Storm are going to get 6 again at the 40. It goes straight to the Storm. It'll be first tackle here for the Storm at the 40. I want to really emphasise that Bulldogs fans forced me to put fraud alert on, and I'm not going to say no to it. I'm not going to say no if they want it. They want it. Just throwing it out there. And it's all yours. I was forced against my will. Against my will here, Dogs fans. My car says, let's go the Storm. Well, a good start here. So 4th tackle here, 33 metres out from the line. And they go out to Tyron Wishart, short ball, Elliott, Sean Bloor, and they're going to score. No, they're not. They're going to be 5 metres out here. They nearly scored on the wing. This is the debutant. I actually can't remember his name off the top of my head. And he almost scored with his first touch. What is he doing? What is Grant Anderson doing? Grant Anderson on fit tackle just ran the ball from tummy half, 5 metres. That was never happening. So it's Cowboys ball, 5 metres out, first tackle. That didn't even make any sense. Lagan wanted the fraud alert, Jay. Daz, mate, asked me to put him on the fraud alert. Dogs fans, you did yourselves, man. I'm an innocent man. I'm a very innocent man over here. Deary me. Scary times. So Cowboys now 15 metres out, 3rd tackle. Cal J says, if Storm lose this, they're probably not on fraud alert, right? Well, Storm aren't on fraud alert. Where you see a fraud alert here? You got your glasses? Where's fraud alert for Melbourne Storm? And also, this is a game, the only reason the Dogs went on fraud alert is because of their throwaway choke. Because otherwise, the reason why I was hesitant was because it was a game where both teams were completely depleted. Chelsea Lena said, let's go the Storm, get around it. Eel Cap says, Cows without Dearden are toothless. Cows' defense, even with a full-strength team, is abhorrent. So it's like, they're very lucky they're playing a Storm team here with all their players out. And I get the Cowboys have their players out, but this Cowboys' defense this year, even against the Titans last week, they got up 24 points. I know they won 30-24, but they've given up 450 points, which is only 6 points less than the Titans, and that was only because of last week. Fourth tackle. Compared to the defense, the Storm have given up 263 points this year. The Cowboys have given up 450. The Cowboys have given up over double the amount of points the Melbourne Storm have given up in 2025. Over. A little kick through here, and Drinkwater will grab this ball at the 5, brings it out of the 10, and he'll be taking down about 12 metres out. First tackle. Chelsea Lena says, I'm scared because Storm has a lot of players out. Yeah, but the Cowboys do too. There's no excuses here for either team. There's no excuses here for either team because both teams have all their players out. So it's like if one team has all their players out, like the Roosters against the Tigers tomorrow, I guess, but then the Tigers have a lot of injuries, but that's separate to Origin. If one team has players out and the other team doesn't, then that's going to be a 4 pass, is it? Oh my gosh, Cowboys. Oh my gosh, the Storm will get the ball at 25. This has been a bad start for North Queensland. If one team has all their players out for Origin and the other one doesn't, there is no excuses for the team that has their full strength, like the Sharks against the Roosters about 5 weeks ago now. Sharks against the Roosters. Sharks had a full strength lineup up against a Roosters team that had 5 players out, and Sharks got absolutely slapped at Shark Park, 40-12 or whatever it was. And then the other week when the Warriors played the Panthers, it was a full strength Warriors lineup at home in New Zealand against the Panthers, and the Panthers had all their Origin players out, and the Warriors lost. By a decent, it wasn't a margin decent, but the game was confidently Panthers. So there's no excuses there for the Warriors and the Sharks. But in a game like this, look, you can't. Look, actually, I'll go the opposite. I'll go the opposite and say both teams have excuses, but also you shouldn't really have excuses because both teams have players out. Similar to last night. Does that make sense? That was a really roundabout way of getting to that. Third tackle now 5 metres out of the line. Calday says, bro, I said if they lose, they wouldn't end up on fraud alert. Storm aren't on fraud alert regardless. Lose, win, whatever. Doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what happens. They could lose by 100. And they're not going on fraud alert today. Second tackle now 5 metres out. The only reason the Bulldogs won is because of their throwaway. And also because it's multiple games in a row, and they have lost a few games of late, not just the last 2. Third tackle now, 5 metres away. Have they only won 1 game in their last four games, the Bulldogs, or am I crazy? Because the Dolphins game as well. Jerome Hughes kicks it through, a little dink, and that's going to be a penalty to the Storm. It's offside against the Cowboys. Penalty to the Storm. Casey says, you know what they say, though, toothless and ruthless. I think that's a bit of a pause there, sir. I think a little bit of a pause. A little bit of a pause there. It's true, I got on my... And now we've got Mitchell saying, it's true, I got on my knees and begged. We've had toothless and ruthless. You know what they say, they're toothless and ruthless. And then the next comment from Mitchell was, it's true, I got on my knees and begged. Just throwing it out there, this chat is getting a bit wild. Toothless and ruthless and knees and begged. Very big combination of words there in the English language. The Storm lose the ball and the Cowboys get this at the 3. First tackle. So knock on and Cowboys will get this ball out of the 10. We're already... Mitchell says the Tigers are already a reserve grade team and now our entire spine from the start of the season is out. Well, it's going to be rough for you next week when you take on the Adelaide and Gold Coast Titans. Adelaide and Gold Coast Titans, mate. That's a scary situation for the Tigers who would try and avoid that spoon. You don't want four spoons in a row. I know I'm telling you something that you don't know about because it's really, analytical to think about, but you don't actually want 4 last places in a row, Mitchell. It's something that most teams don't look at. Most teams don't like winning 1 spoon, let alone 3, and definitely not 4. 4 is getting a bit way too much. 46 tackles to 12 in the first 8 minutes of this game. Cowboys way. The stream would be more fruity if Blitzy was here. Well, that tells you a lot about Blitzy. If the stream would be more fruity than what we've just witnessed between the KCT and Mitchell combination. So 4th tackle now and Griffin Neem. I'm not disagreeing with you though. 42 metres out, 5th tackle. And by the way, big signing for the Cowboys of Reed Marty. Obviously Robson leaving them, so big signing for the Cowboys of Reed Marty. No idea what the Dogs are doing. They're self-imploding at the moment. They really are. They're self-imploding. Caddis is breaking news. Yeah, this is what we do here, mate. We break news. We break news. Winning 4 wooden spoons is not something you want to do. Blitzy a bit ritzy. Blitzy's not just a bit ritzy. That guy has been so upset by the Sharks this season that he's become an Eels fan. And that's serious. Bronson Garlick at the 44. He keeps coming in here saying, go Parramatta. Like, you're a Sharks fan, mate. You come in here saying, go Parramatta? What? Sharks are really disappointing this year, and yet they're well above Parramatta. McMeany. The Sharks have at least won a premiership in the NRL. Out of the left-hand side, and Grant Anderson, he will get taken under 20. Chelsea Lance is who you're going for. I don't support either of these two teams. I'm just hoping for a good game. We've had 2 good games so far this round. Elias Katoa, he's so good, dude. Elias Katoa, he is unbelievable, mate. He is one of the only players, it's a try time for the Storm, he is one of the only players in the NRL who actually gives a shit about chasing, putting pressure, and trying to grab the ball. There are so many teams across the competition, there are so many players across the competition that never chase the ball, that never put pressure on the player who's receiving the kick. Elias Katoa, every single time, wants to get that ball, gets the ball, and scores the try this week. Last week, he did this twice and got 2 try assists from it because he actually gives a shit about getting the ball. And you got to take your hat off to him. I don't have a hat on right now, but I would if I had one on. He's now an Eels fan, Joe. No, it's crazy. Chelsea Lance says, breaking news, we have a new ref. What? What? Cal J says, Katoa is incredible. Yeah, Elias Katoa, I know, he's so dangerous chasing the high ball. The bloke thinks he's the glorious King Buller. I hear Buller is looking to leave the Tigers, mind you. I did hear this. Can you give us the inside scoop here, Mitchell? Tigers fan? You give us the inside scoop? I hear Dream Buller is not necessarily a great deal happy staying at the Old West Tigers. Oh, by the way, Jay. Herbal Inhaler. Beautiful. 30 minutes to go to the first half. 10 minutes in. Hit that like button and subscribe. Davis says, let's go. Katoa is a beast in the air. He is. I would argue that he's the best player in the air in the game, especially if you're looking at his position of back rower. But honestly, he just is an all-round kind of player. And it's been so good to watch him kind of... I think he was at the Warriors beforehand, right? And then came to Storm? Or am I thinking of Papali'i, who went to the Eels? I think Elias Katoa was originally at the Storm, at the Warriors before he came to the Storm. And he's just one of those players that's turned in something. And I think Sean Blord's quite underrated as well. I don't think Sean Blord's got the same X factor that Elias Katoa does, but I think Sean Blord bides his time and holds his own. Okay, says, is it just Ashley Klein under a new name? The inside scoop is shut your bitch ass up, blood. Real good phrase, that one. Yeah, the unfortunate thing for you is that I understand what SYBAU stands for. Calcho, Tigers started so well this year, I wonder why their form dropped. Because the Tigers are Tigers. This is my biggest complaint with this season. So first tackle over the Storm, Tyrone Wishart gives it off here to Tui Kamikamica, and he'll bring it out here to the 5. My biggest complaint with the season, obviously you guys know I stream every game here. For the first half of the damn season, I was called a Tigers hater. I had Tigers fans, you guys know, when I was in India, I was getting people calling me, saying that I was biased against the Tigers and I was hating the Tigers, all because I said they're at the developmental stages of moving away from being in last place. They are developing away from their position of last. Now, they still can get last this year. There is a good chance of it if it wasn't for my team. But the point is that I got called a Tigers hater for so long. And I said, I like the Tigers. I want to see them do well. Your fan base is going to be intolerable. It was proven this year. Your fan base will be intolerable when they actually go on and be successful. But give it time, dude. Like, not you, Mitchell. But the fans need to give it time. You don't just go from winning 3 wooden spoons to winning the damn World Cup and making the top 8 in one season. You don't go from winning 3 wooden spoons in a row to making the top 8 and winning the comp the next season. But Tigers fans, for some reason, thought that I was being a hater because I was just telling it how it is, saying, like, just be patient. You know, there's still time. You've got a decent enough team developing there, but you still need a lot more changes. And look where they are. You know, it was just a fact at that point. And the Cowboys now will be fit tackle, and they'll be 48 metres out from their own line. And it did grind me. It grinded me at the beginning part of the season because I genuinely would like to see, as a Titans fan, I've watched my team be shit my entire life, the entire time they've been around. I would like teams like the Tigers, like the Warriors, like, maybe not so much Parramatta because their fans can be quite intolerable, but a lot of those teams down in the dribbler squad for all these years, I would like to see them be successful because I feel like that community deserves to be happy for once. And that's why it really annoyed me, because I was like, fuck, I actually do like the Tigers, but you're making me not like the Tigers because you keep calling me a hater. So it's going to be 4 tackled out the 42. Cal J says, Tigers, oh, that's right. Davo says, another young Tiger leaves the den. It seems to be a continuous thing happening there. Correct. Talon Silver, Lachlan Galvin, and apparently Jerome Boulder is looking on his way out too, apparently. So the Cowboys will grab this ball at the 10. And they bring it out now to the 15. Dom Finlayson says, Bailey Smith would love that. Okay. Jay says, they called him the biased Ben Shod. It's a good one, Jay. Biased Ben Shod. Casey says, imagine being mad that your team is developing. I don't think that they were mad that their team was developing. I think they were mad that I wasn't circle jerking their team and making them feel like the Tigers were the greatest team in the world because of the immediate positivity that they faced at the beginning of the year. Clifford will get this ball really awkwardly, and it will go to the 35 here for the Storm. Elliot Katoa actually gets back and gets it. Is it Katoa? No, this is the debutant. Sorry. First out at 42. They weren't mad as a penalty to Melbourne. They weren't mad at their team developing. They were mad that I wouldn't sit here and circle jerk them and say that they are going to make the top 8. Because what the thing is here with this channel, you may not always agree with me. You may disagree with what I say. But at the end of the day, I give you my straight up opinion. And a lot of people probably won't like it if they're a fan of the team, right? And I understand that. But I do try to give you my genuine opinion via what I watch. And I do watch every single game. So I have a decent enough idea. It doesn't mean I know everything. But I have a decent enough idea about what we're watching. So when I say that I think the Tigers are developing, it's not because I want them to be shit. I actually don't. I would prefer teams like Panthers or Storm and teams that have won to kind of come back down to the pack so that we can see teams like even the Bulldogs. I would take the Broncos winning a comp over those guys, even though I'm not a fan of the Broncos because they're my rivals. I would take them to win over teams that have won. And that's not disrespecting the Storm or the Panthers. It's just they've seen a lot of success, so I'd like to see a difference. Storm ball here, 4 tackle, 10 metres out. So it's like, you can disagree, but at the end of the day, I'm not lying to you just so that I can get you to subscribe. Like, you subscribe if you want to subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, you don't have to. 0 tackle here for the Cowboys at the 8. But, like, I'll always give you my actual genuine opinion rather than sugarcoating it like all the agenda-driven mainstream media that will circle jerk you just so that you can follow them and they can make a bit of money from you. That's what they do. If that was my intentions, I'd pretend like every single team in the 17 teams can win the comp, but I can tell you right now there's a lot of teams that aren't looking good for the near future or even long-term future at this point. So it's going to be the Cowboys who get a penalty at the 40. David says, I used to follow the West Magpies until they merged with the Tigers. That is a big problem with West Tigers, is that they are they're a merger club from 2 teams that hated each other. Balmain and West. Same thing goes for St. George. St. George and Illawarra both hated each other. The Steelers and the Dragons both they both hate each other. So that's the worst thing with mergers, is that you're merging 2 fan bases that have a great disdain for each other. The Tigers specifically more so because they are actually really close. Cogra to Wollongong is a decent enough gap. It's a sizable gap. But Campbelltown to Balmain, it's like you merge 2 clubs that are in a relatively close enough area and they hate each other. So I get you. A lot of people are like you. So second tackle now for the Cowboys at the 40. I know people who are Tigers fans, content creators too, but I know Tigers fans who don't go to Campbelltown as a Balmain part of the merger, and West fans who don't go to Leichhardt. 4th tackle now, 8 metres out, which is a recipe for not a successful team. So 4 tackle of the Cowboys. They're 15 metres away. Out the back into Clifford. Clifford over the top. Drinkwater. Here's a chance here for the winger. I think he's up. I think he's in. I think he's in here for the Cowboys. I think he keeps his feet up, and that is Robert Derby. Robert Derby, I think the Papua New Guinea international, if I'm not mistaken. Will score on the wing. I'm pretty certain he keeps his feet up. Mitchell says, Blaze shit on Tigers fans was my favourite part of the season. Yeah, well, they deserved it at that point, man. Like, they deserved it. It didn't make any sense. So Cowboys, yeah, Derby, yeah, he'll get up. He'll keep his legs up there. Bale says, Tigers wanting a premiership when Warriors have been in the conference close to, if not 30 years. Tigers fans need some patience. Well, they're completely non-related, because Tigers fans will just argue and say that they've been around for a lot longer than the... yeah, he scores his try. Well done. Tigers fans will just argue they've got Balmain and West going back in the day, especially West fans who have won, you know, like 20 wooden spoons or some shit, like 16 wooden spoons. But no, that also doesn't really make any sense. It's like, okay, Warriors have been around since 1995. West Tigers as a merger have been around since what, like 2001? 2000? When did they cut? When? Or was it 98? But also, Tigers did win the premiership in 2005. There's more relatable teams that you could have made that comparison with than the Tigers. Casey says, at least the Tigers care enough to actually develop, unlike some clubs, cough, cough, Titans. It's not funny. Haha, it's funny, sad. It's not that the Titans... They're waiting for confirmation here. I think he scored this. I don't think there was anything wrong with that. What are they looking at here? Yeah, try confirmed. I didn't understand what they were looking at. Oh, I get what they were looking at. So his hand kind of looked like it lost its grip, but he definitely puts that down. I don't think that the Titans don't want to develop. I just don't think that... I can understand why they looked at that a little bit more, but it was a try. The Titans just don't know what they want, mate. They just don't know what they want. They're a very big talking organisation. Looking forward to our 2 premierships by 2030. And also 2 premierships in the women's by 2030. They did well today. And I'll always support them, and I'll back them in, but I tell you the truth. 6-6, good kick there from Scott Drinkwater. 6-6. Carl J says, hopefully Tino's saying what he said earlier this week will influence some change in Titans management. Good on him. He actually did lose that ball out of his hands and then comes back over the top of it and puts it down. I have seen that called as a no try a lot. That angle there really showed a great deal of separation, and there was no like full grab. Like, yes, he puts it down, but you've seen that called a no try. I'm actually taking back my opinion from what I just said. You've seen that try called a no try 90% of the time, based on the fact that they haven't actually gripped and grabbed the ball again. It comes out of his hands, and there's a significant separation, so he's lost control of it, and then just kind of put his hand down over the top of it for a try. Usually they would call that a knock-on. Anyway, 6-6. McLean's Playbook says, what do you think of the Titans goal today? Well, I wasn't able to watch it, but I've seen the score. I was streaming the Raiders versus Dragons game at the time. I'll have a look and watch that game later on, probably early on tomorrow morning. But obviously the scoreline's not pretty. The scoreline's not pretty at all. 4 tackle now for the Cowboys in the 48. But no, Tino is full within his rights to question this club right now, mate. Just like everybody's full within their rights to question this club. Drinkwater intercept by the Storm. Wow, he didn't get away. It was a good tackle to prevent the breakaway. But the Storm do get an intercept, and it will be Grant Anderson now 35 metres out. Theo says, where do you think the Tigers are finishing the end of the season? Mate, they are a genuine chance for the spoon again. They are. Like, the last game of the season is between the Titans and the Tigers, and it could absolutely be a spoon bowl again, just like it was Tigers and Eels last year. Alec McDonald now at the 40. Sorry, the 20. The Tigers have got a lot of injuries right now, too. A lot of injuries. Elliot Katoa, he'll get the ball to the 10. It'll be fit tackle. 20 minutes into the first half. 20 minutes to go of the first half. Hit that like button and subscribe if you are new around here. We'll be live for both games tomorrow. Rabbitohs and Manly, and also Tigers, Roosters, Cowboys. Good grab. Really good grab by Robert Derby there. Papua New Guinea fans, I believe. Again, I believe he's Papua New Guinea international. I'm pretty certain. They'd be pretty happy with him. I reckon about 13th or something. Who are the 4 teams you have better than at the moment? Based off of what we've seen from the Tigers. I'll grant you Titans if you want to. As my team, I'll grant you that and say sure. But I think it's closer than you'd imagine. I think the Eels have a bit more positivity about them going forward than the Tigers do. The Knights have a really good defence, just awful attack. That is going to bounce back here into the field of play, but it will be fit tackle for the Cowboys and wrapped up at the 27 or so. Cal says, I hope I don't die before the Titans finally come good. We all hope that, man. We all hope that. So Storm now on first tackle, get the ball out to the 30. Mitchell says, please no, I can't deal with another spoon bowl. The last time there was one, I was sitting behind. Okay. Second tackle now for the Storm. Second tackle for the Storm, and they're going to be 33 metres out. Theo says, I think below them are Titans, Eels, and maybe Knights. Why Knights and Eels? I can understand Titans. Why Knights and Eels? And 6 again for the Storm. They'll be inside the attack on 50. Inside the 10 is what they called. They roll it back to Tyron Wishart. Wishart off to Josh King, and Josh King is going to be 40 metres out, second tackle. On what basis have you seen that the Tigers are going to finish above the Knights and the Eels? So Jerome Hughes. And also, that would have you in 17th, 16th, 15th. That would have you in 14th, not 13th. Fourth tackle now for the Storm at the 25. Alec McDonald. He's going to be 15 metres out, fit tackle. Garlic, Josh King, at the back here to Jerome Hughes. Hughes kicks that ball up into the corner. That's a shove. He's pushed him off the ball there. Braden Burns has pushed him over. That's a... referee, hello? Referee, hello? Braden Burns clearly pushed off him just then. Theo says, I think it depends on Eels' last games. Knights, like you said, just don't have the attack. Yeah, but you didn't listen to what I said. I said the Knights have an awful attack, but they have the second best defence in the competition. The Knights right now, they have conceded 304 points across the season. They have got, sorry, not the second best, the third best defence in the competition. The Knights are only behind the Bulldogs and the Storm by about 40 points defensively. So attacking-wise, yeah, sure. But with that being said, they did also beat the Dolphins the other week. I don't know what the back end of the season looks like, but, you know, it's all well and good to say the Knights have an awful attack, but let's not pretend they don't have the third best defence in the competition. Theo says, that's my opinion. Damn, yeah, we're conversating, mate. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm asking you. This is the whole point of the channel. We conversate about it. I disagree. I think that the Tigers are probably looking at a second last position if it's the Titans who come last. I don't think the Knights or the Eels come last, but just because I'm saying this doesn't mean that you need to get up on your feelings. So it's fourth tackle now for the Storm when they're going to be at the 40. Mitchell says, refs having a nap, same as a touchy, but we all know touches are there for decoration. Correct. I don't understand how they didn't see the push. Like, it was very clearly a shove. Fifth tackle now at the 33. That's the issue we're talking about sport as well. Like, people don't actually kind of listen to how you're saying things and what you're saying. Unless you're agreeing with them, it's just like, you know, like a sharp response like that. It's like, man, it's just a discussion here, man. It's the whole point of talking about rugby league. Second tackle now at 13. And now third tackle for the Cowboys, and Derby will get this ball to the 20. You're going to play rugby league like 26 when it comes out. I would have loved to, Cal J, but I just won't have the time. I'm in Thailand, mate. I'll be in Vietnam when that comes out. And we stream. I don't bring a PlayStation around with me to India, Thailand, and Vietnam and whatnot. So it's kind of impossible. I'm not going to buy a PlayStation just to play it. But I would have loved to. That's a knock on for the Cowboys, the 45. Benjamin says, Christmas in July, have someone at KFC lost their marbles? What? Wait, what? So they're going to challenge us here, the Cowboys, with 16 minutes left of the first half. Go and challenge it. Cal says, not related to this game, but damn, I can't get KO Week's masterclass out of my mind. Yeah, he was very good. He did make a mistake later on the game, which nearly cost him, but he was very good. And so they've called a knock on here. Well, he hasn't lost the ball. Cohen Hess didn't lose the ball. Good challenge, Cowboys. Unless... No, he has never lost the ball. Yeah, no, it's fine. There was no knock on there. Jay, you need help. Blah, blah, blah. Says the game will be ultra-realistic. It won't let the Tigers play finals even if you play schoolboy difficulty. Oh, man. Tigers. What do they do post-Api Koroisau now? Yeah, Api Koroisau doesn't have a fantastic amount of time left in him. He's still got plenty. He's still got years, but like he doesn't have a fantastic amount of time left in him. They've lost Talon the Silver, so they have to look towards a hooker replacement now. Jerome Luai's clearly not at 7 for mine. He has to go. He has to be 6, but also it's not going to happen unless they put Latafoni. They've got a few issues with people like talking about. Second tackle now for the Storm, and they're 18 metres out from their own line. Cowboys, if Titans management is a part of the game, I'm going to cry. No, take them over. Take them over, mate, please. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. So, fourth tackle for Melbourne, the 30. And that's a knock-on from Melbourne. It is only 6-6. Nelson offside Lamona makes a mistake there. Tigers throw the checkbook at Harry Grant in 2026. Harry Grant is never in any world going to the West Tigers. He's from Queensland and loves playing in Melbourne. Why would he why would he go? The Tigers, I understand he was on loan there, but that was absolutely definitively a loan. So Cowboys now at the 20. Mitchell says apparently there's some bloke on Jersey Flag that's meant to be good, but they also said the same about Jake Simpkin and De Silva. I don't mind De Silva, to be fair. Jake Simpkin, not so much, but De Silva, I don't mind. Actually, Simpkin's still at the Tigers, isn't he? Drinkwater, short ball, and they're going to be 10 metres after the line. Third tackle. 9 metres out. Drinkwater gets it off to Duffy. Duffy to Clifford. Clifford short, and that'll be John Bateman. 4 metres out from the line. Fourth tackle. Harrison Edwards. They passed it across the Drinkwater, and Jerome Hughes with some good defense. Couldn't lock the ball up, but did make a good tackle to stop the play. Duffy flicks it across here. I don't know if that was touched by a Storm. If it was, it's 6 again. And Cowboys ball at the 15. No, he didn't touch it. So still fifth tackle. Out of the right-hand side. And Clifford, I don't know what are you doing. So that's Storm ball at the 8. Harry Grant going to the Tigers sort of ridiculous. Well, again, he did play there on loan, but yeah, I don't see a world that Harry Grant would ever go to the Tigers now. Dazman says, joke's on you, Harry Grant debuted with the Tigers. Thanks, Daz. Thank you, mate. I wasn't aware about that loan. They did give him a standing ovation after that season, and they came 10th. So it tells you how tough times are at the Tigers when they are giving a standing ovation for a player that played incredible for them in 2021. Yeah, it was. No. Was it 2020? It was COVID year. But they gave him a standing ovation. That's just outside the 40s. So that's not going to be a 40-20, but it stays in bounds anyway. So Drinkwater gets it at the 7 metres, and he'll bring it out to the 15. Drink beer, not water. Daz, mate, you don't have to ask me twice. Facts, once Cameron Smith comes out of retirement, you know what, Mitchell? If you want Cameron Smith coming out of retirement to play with the Tigers, go for him. It's all yours, mate. All yours. You know what? While we do that, while we get Paul Aragon, let's get the Chief coming. Akhtar says, good evening, love your headband. Yeah, get around it. I should have worn the green one, though, which is more Thailand. I don't know where the green one is. It's somewhere here, but I can't bother looking for it now. Out of the left-hand side. I only changed this one from the blue one because Jay was telling me he was getting bored of the old headbands, so now I had to move to this headband, and now tomorrow I'm going to have to wear the green headband. And there'll be a good grab there for the Storm at the 20. What is this man's name? It is Siulangi Tuimalatu Brown. I'm going to call him Tuimalatu Brown. That's easier. You guts that juice already? Shit, yeah, I did. Shit, yeah, I did, Jay. Oh my gosh, what do you think I am? Slow drinker? Gosh, one gulp. One gulp, buddy. And Nelson Solomon with a good run inside the attacking half. 4 tackle at the 48 the Cowboys side of the field. He just took on like 100 blokes. Jerome Hughes, oh, good passing. Oh, pass the ball to the winger. That's something Elias needed to do there. He needed to pass that ball to the winger. It would have been, it had to be quick, but they were away if he did. Now, Jerome Hughes puts that into a bounce. It's going to bounce. Now they knock it back and knock back again, and then a knock on Cowboys. Oh, 0 tackle for the Storm. Oh no. They're going to have numbers galore out here. Oh my gosh, they never knocked it on themselves. Sean Bloor, he runs out to the left. He gives it back underneath here for Nick Meaney. Nick Meaney, he's 5 metres out for the line. This is first tackle now. It was a 0 tackle, sorry. 0 tackle. Nelson! Try time for Nelson Asafa Solomona. And he will do try July. He will celebrate it, taking a selfie with the ball. 10-60 with the kit come. Cal Jason, Titans by Ellis Control, we win the comp. I definitely do not think the Titans are in need of buying forwards right now. 10 minutes to go here of the first half. Hit that like button, subscribe. Can't believe the Cowboys let that ball bounce. And then they just knocked it around. Control threw it back. Knocked on there by the Cowboys. Then Jerome Hughes takes it all around, and then, long story short, Nelson Solomona will score. Casey says, I feel like I'm going to explode. Here's a tip for everyone. Don't have 2 scoops of weight gain and then eat half a cake and ice cream. I feel like that's a comment that makes absolutely no sense in the context of anything that happens on BKR Sport. Big Nash. Big Nash. Powell says, Nelson doesn't hate charity. Be like Nelson, everyone. I did see, I think it was Hughes and Munster on the podcast talking about, like, a lot of players forget because, like, they're in the intensity of the game and obviously think about the game. Especially in, like, the last game, you can understand with the Dragons why they do forget in certain games like that. Look at that glorious catch from Bloor. So inspirational. Very inspirational, Mitchell. Pretty hard to stop Big Nelson that far out from the line. I mean, it's kind of like a cheat code. Nelson is a tough player. He can make a lot of mistakes and has a lot of ill discipline in him, but he is, yeah, very dangerous. All right, so Nick Meaney here to convert, make it a 6-point game. That's exactly... Ooh, it was actually close to missing, but he does get it. So it's 12 points to 6 to the Melbourne Storm. I do feel like regardless, you're going to be seeing a close game here. So if you do think about the ladder on a live ladder situation, the Bulldogs are currently in 3rd. Storm are currently in 2nd. The Cowboys will be staying down there in, I think it's 12th. Yeah. And they would not be able to drop from there. Actually, what are the games next round? Is there some big games next week, round 19? Sharks-Dolphins is actually a very big game. Sharks-Dolphins is a whopping game on Friday. Knights and Storm, Dragons-Roosters, Cowboys and Bulldogs, Warriors and Tigers. Maybe a big game for the... Actually, I think that could be a big enough game in Auckland. Eels-Panthers, massive. Titans-Broncos, even more of an So there's a really big game in the Sharks-Dolphins, and you can make maybe a little bit of an argument for like Warriors and Tigers and whatnot, but that round 19 doesn't exactly look spectacular. But that doesn't mean anything, because we've seen this season, even games that you never expect to be good end up being really good and close. Look at the Dragons-Raiders from the last game that we just watched. All right, so Storm ball here, the 20 on 2nd tackle. He's actually bigger in person than he looks on TV. Yeah, I've seen Nelson plenty of times, my guy. I've been to many games. Many games. No, I wasn't in Melbourne when he was there. Dom Finlayson says, Storm won't pass the Titans tonight, though. They can't, Dom. They can't. Titans have won 17 games out of 17. We haven't even had our 3 buys yet. Haven't even had any of our buys yet. All right, so fit tackle, and Cowboys will let that one bounce back to in. Oh, no, he's touched it. Oh, no, oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Oh, dude, Robert Derby, what are you doing? Oh, he's dropped the ball over the dead ball line, so it's going to be under no pressure, mind you. Under absolutely zero pressure. Under zero pressure, Robert Derby touches that and then drops it over the dead ball line. But as the Sharks vs Finns could be a banger and also give me a heart attack at the same time. I think it's more of a banger in the context of the top 8 battle. I think that it could easily be an absolute fizzler. But based off of team lineups, it should be a good game. Cowboys get the ball from the short dropouts. They'll get the ball at 20. Robert Derby. You're very lucky. And penalty to the Cowboys as well. Wow, Storm. That is an absolute collapse. That is a collapse. Benjamin says, will they have to change the game more for the Americans to follow, you reckon? What? They're not going to... What do you mean? What rules have they changed for the Americans to follow as it is? They're not changing rules to suit Americans. What? Casey says, as a Titans fan, I'm getting complacent. I'm sick of whining about how we lose a couple. Mate, I'm just sick of winning so much on the Gold Coast. Calculation, surely Sharks are due a win, but Finns is amazing form. Are in amazing form, minus the Knights game. Third tackle now for the Cowboys. Kalepo comes on here for Neem. Kalepo, I believe, on debut. Drinkwater. John Bateman. Bateman throws it to Grassy McGrath. Grassy McGrath. Derby actually dropped that ball, but it was a bad pass from Bateman. And it will be Grassy McGrath with the ball. So Storm will get the ball after it goes over the sideline. About 35-40 metres out from their own line. Yeah, it was just a bad pass there from Bateman. But Derby should have probably been further back as well. Benton says none, but if they want Americans to watch, will they have to make it more NFL or play? No. Second tackle now at the 45. It's not that important for them to get the Americans involved. The Americans getting involved is just for effectively gambling purposes so they can make some money. It's not that deep, mate. They're not going to be changing any rules. They're not changing any rules to suit Americans. And underneath there, good little passing, but Nick Meany will be taken out at the 35 on the Cowboys side of the field. Jerome Hughes and Lesatu. I'm being skipped over. No, it's just that your comments aren't really related to the conversation we're speaking about. There are plenty of comments that don't get read here, mate. And the Cowboys will, I think, knock it on. I think this is 6 again. No, it's not. It was knocked back from the Storm, so it's Cowboys ball. Middle says they already have they don't call forward passes anymore. That's a good point, especially Brisbane Broncos games. They do not call forward passes anymore. So they actually have Benjamin. You're right. They have changed the rules to suit the American audience. Bowles is talking about Americans missing the NFL at the moment. Yeah, it'd be good. I'm going to do another fantasy league this year. I will do an NFL fantasy league this year. I think I've got to look for six more players. We've got 6. I haven't done a fantasy league in like 2 years. But I miss playing fantasy with the NFL. It's going to be fifth tackle now for the Cowboys, the 40, so I'm going to need 6 more players. Time will tell, eh? Well, no, time won't tell. What you're saying is incorrect. But what I'm saying is as we were saying as a joke, that they've changed the no forward pass rule when they haven't. It's a joke. The NRL is not changing any rules. Anyway, I'm going to move on from this conversation because I know you understand that it's not even possible. So Storm now. They'll get this ball to the 20 on third tackle. I'm trying to make this stream interesting, Cal says. What have you said? This is a close game right now. It's a close game. We don't need you talking about eating cake and weight gainer to make it interesting. Jerome Hughes at the 40 will go back to Drinkwater at the 15. Not gonna lie, never got around the NFL. I literally played in the shitty little comp they have here in Vic and still don't like the game. I love the NFL. And Cowboys are away down the wing at the 50. Derby nearly knocked that ball on, but he held on to its second tackle. I don't think it's better than rugby league, but I do love the NFL. To be fair, I love all sports. I think for me, it's more about the competition and more about the community than it is about the actual sport itself. That's why I enjoy everything. Drinkwater gives it to Purdue. Oh, they're away, Cowboys. They're away. They're actually going to score out of nowhere. That just came out of absolutely nowhere. Jackson Purdue has just decimated the Storm there on the left-hand side and just randomly broke through. That is wild. That just came out of absolutely nowhere. Jackson Purdue just runs it out of the left-hand side, breaks through, and with 3 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the first half, has just turned on the afterburners. Drinkwater Purdue at the 40 just gets around a really weak defence there from the Storm, and he found a great gap there. And Jackson Purdue will score out on the left-hand side, so big kick here to see if they can tie it up just before half-time. That's huge there from Jackson Purdue. Good try. NFL was better about 10 years ago, gone downhill since the Patriots have gone to shit. No, Detroit Lions are killing it, mate. So we definitely don't think about the Patriots around here. No. No. So tonight, Jackson Purdue, 1 try tonight, season 9-11 in his career. Caldace, is Bellamy about to lose his voice with how much you're going to yell at him? Nah, he's not going to. Like, he'll give him he'll tell him he's disappointed. But, like, at the end of the day, there's 7 players out here from Melbourne Storm. They've got no Munster. They've got no Harry Grant. They've got no Pappenhausen. They've got no Xavier Coates. They've also got no Will Warbrick. They've got... Actually, yeah, there's more than 7 players out. There is more. No Pappenhausen. No Xavier Coates. No Will Warbrick. No Cameron Munster. No Harry Grant. And there's probably more players than I'm thinking about it as well. Like, they've got a whole bunch of boys out, dude. Like, he's not going to rip into these guys. You need to pick and choose your moments, and Bellamy knows that. So Jake Clifford here from the left wing. And he will get the kick. Good kick from Jake Clifford. Ties the gap at 12-12. Good kick. Good kick. Bell says, we take the game to Vegas. Doesn't mean the game needs to appeal to Americans. They either enjoy it or they can watch one of their 20 sporting leagues. NRL won't change, nor should they. The NRL isn't changing. That's not the purpose of Australia. The NRL, people misunderstand this. The NRL is not trying to take over the American market because it's quite literally not possible. They will be completely suppressed if they were even coming close to worrying the NFL or worrying NHL, Major League Baseball, and also the NBA. They would be completely suppressed by the media. They would be completely suppressed across the country. They're not trying to take over and be the #1 sport in America. They are just trying to get gamblers involved through Vegas, and they are trying to broaden their market, but they are never trying to take over the market. First tackle here for the Cowboys, because it's quite literally not possible. It's never going to happen. And that wasn't their intention, because they are very well aware that it will never take over the market in America. But it's about broadening the market. So second tackle, and now third at the 35 for the Cowboys. Just a cheeky reminder that Patrick Mahomes, the guy that is meant to be better than Brady, had the worst passer rating in the first half in Super Bowl history. Thank you, Dazmate, for the reminder. But here's also a reminder that the Detroit Lions have never lost a Super Bowl in history. Never lost one. They're undefeated in Super Bowls. And that's a fact. And Storm McMeaney grabs it in the air, brings out the 20, he's away, the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40, he's still going, then he's taken down. Oh, he still gets back up at the 40. Well, no. He fell off the tackle, though. Okay. Browns, yeah. Oh, stop it, Casey. The Browns... Who even is their quarterback this year, the Cleveland Browns? Second tackle now for Melbourne at the 45. It was a great run from Meaney. Cleveland Browns. Why do you support Cleveland? Third tackle. He's no Cam Ward? No, he's no Jared Goff, mate. No Jared Goff. Titans are also undefeated in Super Bowls. That is correct, Dom Finlayson. You're not wrong. Jerome Hughes, short ball. Elias Katoa flicks the ball over the top here. Good offload. It's still 25 seconds to go here of the first half. Go for a field goal if you want, Storm. Kick a field goal. Get Jay Hayes rocking and rolling. Get Jay rocking and rolling. Jerome Hughes will not go for a field goal. Kicks that ball into a good area, though. And that... Oh, he's lost the ball. 10 seconds. Pack the scrum. Pack the scrum. Pack the scrum here, Storm, and take a field goal from the scrum. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. And time off. They did it. They did it before the... Okay, kick a field goal here from the scrum. 100% kick a field goal here from the scrum from the Storm. 1 second left here on the clock. Jay loves to rock and roll. Oh, what? Well, why? They packed the scrum. Why is that time off for half time? Why are they not allowed to take the scrum? They packed the scrum. He called time off. The siren hadn't gone. And now they've said that it's okay, it's half-time. That's really odd, but sure. That doesn't make any sense. But it is tied at 12-12 at half-time. Yeah, field goal, Rob J. No rocking and rolling from you here today, buddy. No rocking and rolling here today from you, buddy. Deary me. Well, anyway, halftime 12-12. Let's go through some of these stats here at halftime. Obviously, guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new around here. Stats-wise, these will update at halftime, but these are a guide. 56% for the Storm, 44% for the Cowboys possession-wise. With the time of possession being 15 minutes 47 for Melbourne and 12 and a half minutes there for the Cowboys. Completion rate is 75% for both teams. 15 from 20 for the Cowboys, 18 from 24 there for the Storm. They've had 4 more sets with 3 more completed, but they've made 1 more error there for the Storm. It's just that the completion rate is higher on the basis that they've had more time with the ball. But overall, these two stats are very okay. You'd rather be up towards the 80% marker. It's not awful horrific. It's not below 70%, but it's like, okay, you'll take it. All runs, 109 to the Storm, 92 to the Cowboys, with 1,011 run meters to the Storm, 813 run meters to the Cowboys. To equal it out, 92, 109, that's 17 runs difference. So 10 meters per run on average is what you're looking for. So you give 170 meters, 1,011 to the Storm, 813 to the Cowboys. So there'll be 913, 983. So they're only down by about 30 odd run meters if you try and equal it out with possession. So the game is very close on a lot of that marker. The Cowboys are not too far off if they're getting the same amount of ball as the Storm. Post-contact meters is 363 meters there for the Storm, 230 meters there for the Cowboys. The Storm are killing them in this department. They're annihilating them. Even if you try and compare it out, the Storm are destroying them on the post-contact meters here by a long way. Line breaks is 2-2. Defensively, though, wow, 21 tackle breaks for the Storm, 11 tackle breaks there for the Cowboys. That is really poor defense from the Cowboys on an effective tackle percentage. This doesn't mean ultimately their defense is atrocious, even though we know it is, because they do have a really abhorrent defense. But 21 tackle breaks in the first half is ridiculous. Cowboys should never be giving that up. Average set distance, anything under 25 from any team at halftime. We end the stream. 25 to 30, you wouldn't even spit at. 30 to 35 is really underwhelming. 35 to 40 is basic, average, what you'd expect. 40 to 45 is great. 45 to 50 is fantastic. And 50 plus is amazing, incredible, and perfect. The Cowboys are at 40.68, so extremely low end on the very good. They are on the great level of average set distance. They'd be pretty happy with that at 40.68, even though it is on the very low end of that. It's still great. And then for the Storm, they're at 42.16. So they're on the mid-range of the great level as well. Both teams at a very similar level set distance-wise, which is what I was saying when you try and even it out. Because this is why I always tell you guys about the average, the run meters, and trying to compare it with the runs with the run meters, and then trying to equal it out if both teams had the same amount of ball. Because if you just look at 813 run meters and 1,011 run meters, you're like, oh, the Storm are destroying them here. But it's not necessarily the case if you look deeper into it, analytical-wise, and that's why the average set distance is only about 1.52 meters separating the two of them in that 40 range. Average play the ball speed is 3.34 seconds for the Storm, 3.41 seconds for the Cowboys. Cowboys at a very, flat line rate. It's nothing too fast. It's getting towards the faster side, but it's still on an average level. And 3.34 seconds for the Storm is pretty fast. It's also not too crazy like you see from teams at the 3.10 range, but 3.34 seconds is getting faster. Offloads is 5 apiece. Then you got to kick the fusel of 40% for the Cowboys, 100% for the Storm, with 1 forced dropout Storm, 0 for the Cowboys. And then effective tackle percentage, what you want to aim for is 88%. Anything above 90% is fantastic. 88% to 90% is what you expect, and it is a solid level. The Cowboys are not achieving that. They're at 86.81% with 204 tackles made, 21 missed tackles, and 10 ineffective. So 31 bad tackles in the first half. It's not great. 86.81% is not too far off of the marker, but they're not at the marker by over 1%, 1.19% right now. So Cowboys, effective tackle percentage-wise, defensively in the first half, just simply not that great. But not awful, but not that great. And the Storm, they're at 90.16, so they're in the very good territory, very extremely low of that area, but they are in the very good territory of 90.16. Tackles made is 165 tackles, with 11 missed tackles and 7 ineffective. So that's 18 bad tackles. So 31 compared to 18. It's a surprise the Storm are actually not leading this game based off the statistics that we've seen. But it's not too far off in a lot of other metrics except for the defensive area, because the Storm are pretty clearly in front of them on a defensive level. And then negative play is 6-6. So both teams making a lot of errors here. Penalties conceded is 2-2, and then 2 ruck infringements to 0 Cowboys way. Overall, run meters wise, very similar. explains the score. Completion rate, the exact same, explains the score. Post-contact meters, all in Storm. Defensively, all in Storm. But like overall, there's a reason why this is a very, very close game. Because both teams are, again, same errors, same penalties conceded. Yeah, it's same completion rate. I'm surprised the Storm aren't winning, but there is a lot of similarities here as well. So I can understand the 12-12. I would have expected like a 14-12 or a 16-12 based off these statistics. But obviously, we've got what we've got. So there you go. That's halftime. Olivia says, I love the spinach and feta ones, but can't go past the bacon and cheese. Bingo if you're talking about sausage rolls. Bingo. And now the whole chat's just talking about damn well sausage rolls. All right, I'm going to run off to the bathroom. When I get back, let's stop talking about sausage rolls. Let's get back to rugby league, to be fair. But I'm going to run off to the bathroom. You guys didn't take a break in the last one, so give me one moment. Thumbs up, subscribe. Welcome back. We're back. We put a disco ball in the timeout room and lots of flashing strobe lights. Oh my gosh, why is this chat full of timeouts at the moment? What's been happening? You know, once the captain leaves his ship, the ship just goes downhill, doesn't it? Even though the ship was kind of downhill regardless. Jay says, hope you enjoy. Oh, that's right. Casey Love's in there. No parties here, mate. No parties. I knew that was coming because I know because of how many people talk about it. Like I know that when Rugby League 26 comes out, it's going to be even more. We're going to get a lot of people talking about it. To be fair, but it's like this channel isn't really a gaming channel. It's like I would have done it if I was back home in Australia or if I was in Fiji. But I'm not. My life isn't necessarily focused around playing a video game at this point. So again, I would have loved to have played it, but it's just. I'm a boomer now, mate. I'm a boomer. 31 years old. I'm a boomer. Boomer time. Dom says, who you taking all time? Prime KDB or Prime Claudio Bravo? I'm taking... Oh, that's a great question, mate. That's a great question. I'm taking a Prime Thomas Broish over the both of them. A prime Thomas Brewery show with both of them. Mitchell says, Nick's rebuild on the new rugby league game. Yeah, Nick's rebuild, but we, again, as Mitchell's just referred to, we used to play games, like, at the my first ever video. No, my second ever video was the Nick's rebuild. No, second ever video I ever made was actually FIFA back in, like, 2016 or 2015. Yeah, it was playing FIFA with Accrington Stanley. The first ever video, which can never be seen, was me. It was an awful, awkward video, mate. Awful, awkward video of me explaining which teams I support in all the different sports. Mitchell says Nick's rebuild. Oh, yeah. Never doing a Nick's rebuild. Never, ever. Never, never, ever. I can't believe the Titans women's team lost by as much as they did, mate. I actually can't believe it. It is actually a surprise. How far is it? I want to check. How far is it to see? I'm going to jump on Google quickly. Bale says, surely re-release the video for a decade of the channel. Surely not. Surely not. That video has never seen the light of day, mate. That video has never seen the light of day. When in Chubby Bunny Part 2 with Dano. Didn't I do, like... I swear we did 2 Chubby Bunnies. We did. One with my mate at my university college dorm at the time. And another one with Zahn. We did do 2. It would have to be a part 3, no? I think I might have. Did I keep those videos on the channel? I don't know. I actually would love to do challenge videos and whatnot, but this channel went down a very different direction to what it used to be. But then again, that was because I was 21 at the time, so you know you're still young doing stupid shit. You should do Chubby Bunny with Jay. Chubby Bunny was actually a fun challenge. No, my most fun challenge I ever did was with Dan, and it was when he was wearing a United kit and I was wearing a City kit, and it was the spinning penalties. Now that idiot, before he did the spinning penalties, we spun around 10 times before we would take a penalty. We were both awful. But that idiot, before we did that, decided to have like a meat pie, sausage roll, and an iced coffee from a service station, from the servo before we got there. So he spun around 10 times, and then we did like obviously 5 penalties each. So of course his body was all messed up, so he was vomiting for ages. He's an idiot. What a silly man. Then again, it's not surprising. He was wearing a United kit. And I won. Yes, I did. Imagine doing that. Imagine deciding to go and do a challenge of that standard after eating, buddy, pie, sausage roll, and a damn well iced coffee. Dano's smartest moment. Correct. Jason never take him to the Royal Show. Never take him anywhere. It's Dano's day off, mate. Dan's day off. Pink gin makes me vomit. Don't know where the pink gins come from here. But also pink gin. I'm not a big fan of gin in general, actually. If I was to choose a drink, it's always going to be whiskey. But then, if it's not whiskey, like shot-wise, I do tequila. But with drinking, whiskey. Like actually enjoying it. But I don't even know about pink gin. Bale says, I mean, I can't lie. I've also done something stupid like that. Amusement park after chalky milk. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Yeah, you are silly, man. You are very silly. So 12-12 for you. Second half is about to start. Cowboys running out of the field. Storm already out there. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Lagan says, just saw one of JC's Dragons rant today. Blokes are dead set grong. Bullying a player behind the screen would never say it to his face. If he got invited to a Dragons contact session, he would shit bricks. I get disliking players, but what he says is downright wrong. So it's very difficult because I am very open to freedom of speech, and I'm very open. And hold on, I'm about to clarify this. I'm very open to freedom of speech and people having opinions. I don't agree fully with how far he may go. I'm not saying anything bad about him at all. I don't fully agree with how far he goes. I do think that he is entitled to an opinion on Kyle Flanagan, and entitled to an opinion on his coach, and entitled to an opinion on his team. But I think there is a way to do it. And look, he's young. When I was younger, I went a bit far with the way that I would criticise and talk a bit of shit. You learn, especially in the content game, because he will receive a lot of support, which I did, but he will also receive a lot of backlash, which he will and probably does. And it's just a bit of a learning curve, mate. It's what happens when you're younger, and that's not me kind of. Cowboys are away here. Cowboys are away here at the 30. At the they hit grass McGrath and then knock it on. Oh my gosh, that was it for the Cowboys. That was the one, but it will be a knock on for the Cowboys. So the hard thing with that is that yes, I don't agree with how far he goes, but I can see what I've done in the past, and it's like I'm wanting to talk, but I've also learnt from my mistakes. But that also just comes with age, mate. It comes with age. Like he's completely. I've decided decisively to distance myself from the Titans organisation. I know what I'm doing, and I know I've done that, and I haven't gone too far with it. I've just provided stats and provided opinions without, saying names of people in the organisation, which I'm very well aware of the names that I want to say, but I'm not going to do that. Again, you just learn with age. When you're in the content game, you have a lot of people watching you. You've got to be really super careful. When we joke around and talk shit and whatnot, I know what we're joking around and talking shit about. Like, I'm not just saying things for the sake of it. But I would have when I was younger. And I did when I was younger. Especially when you start to get a bit of support, your head can get quite a lot bigger in the sense that he's getting a lot of people watching him right now. So it's very difficult to kind of take a step back when you are getting that momentum. And it's a good way for him to kind of grow himself at the moment, whether you agree with that or disagree. And it's just on a pure content level. Cowboys now taking another 3. People love drama. People love controversy. And that's where he'll find a lot of his support from. And he's got mates in the content game as well that are willing to back him. And, again, he will learn from this experience. Like I says, yeah, I understand. I don't rate Kyle Flanagan either, but he's straight up bullying him now. Well, I haven't seen his latest video. The Dragon, if he does step over the line, they will actually take him for because I think we have laws in Australia now in regards to social media bullying and stuff. But bullying is it's hard to kind of define it in a court of law, especially when you're providing opinion on the game. Again, I haven't seen his recent one, and I haven't seen a lot of them, to be fair. I just know about what's going on. Alpha says, do you all reckon both teams will go above 20 points? Yes, I do, with ease. Both these teams today have shown. Storm defensively actually haven't been as bad as they are, despite the fact that it was 12 at half time. Yeah, still holding on to my 28-18 score prediction. Well, then that's a no then from you, Casey. It's not both teams getting 20. And the Storm are away here. They're going to pull it back on the inside. Nick Maney back on the Sean Bloor. Great try-saving tackle there in the end from the Cowboys. And he will be held up over the line. Damn. That was very close. So tackle 4. We'll be over the line. So, yeah, we'll be 4 tackle down to the 10. Lagan Paul says, yeah, I don't want to make it the whole top of the stream. Just had to let it out. Yeah, but it is a part of the community. It's like... we're allowed to have our opinion on it too. It's just I don't want to. It's difficult because you don't want to kind of involve yourself in the situation. Again, I've been in a situation like that. I've had the situation with Zach. I wasn't saying anything like what JC says about the Dragons and whatnot. That was just at the start. It was just pure banter, and Zach was getting amongst it until he lost because of it. Until he missed the kicks. He literally missed the kick, and then we scored with Toby Sexton right after. That was very different. The only issue that I had with what I did there, Jerome Hughes knocks the ball on. The only issue that I had with what I did was that, and this was with good intentions, I wasn't even thinking at the time, but the next morning, after the previous Instagram shit from the night before, the day of the game, Zach had blocked me. He'd laughed, reacted, and whatnot, and then Zach had blocked me because he obviously didn't want to focus on that shit. And then I said to my audience on Instagram, I said, go say hello for me from me to him. And that's not good because then you're encouraging your audience to go and send kind of whatever. They could have sent him hate. They could have sent him really vile shit. I don't believe they did that. But at the end of the day, that can happen. So you don't ever encourage people to go and do that. But that was just, young and stupid, really, and didn't really understand the power of your audience and all that. But then Zach, again, was having fun and enjoying it during the game. Stormer away here, down to the 35. First tackle. That was a good run. It's just about understanding that what you say online, especially when you're a content creator with an audience and a platform, is very you really got to understand what you're doing and what you're talking about. Otherwise, you go down a really dark path. So yeah, the only issue that I had with what happened with Zach was that I told my audience to go say hello, but again, that was from good intentions, not bad intentions, like just banter intentions. But I can see how that can be misconstrued. So fourth tackle now at the 30. Mitchell says, I see the Cowboys were watching the Tigers women's game. So Storm now, fifth tackle. Josh King will be 20 metres out here from the line. Lane Ball says, no. Lomax was different. He pays his taxes. Yeah, no, he's a knob. And I will say that. But great player. Storm knocked the ball on as they go for the ball. And it'll be Cowboys bringing it out to the 10. No, Zach is a knob for the way he carried on. But still a great player. But yeah, knock on there from Grant Anderson. So it will be Cowboys ball here at the 10. 34 minutes to go in the game. And penalty to the Cowboys as well. Sione Orsambo says Cowboys take it to the finish. Both these teams are heavily depleted origin-wise. Heavily depleted origin-wise. So you would expect this game to go down right to the very end. Yeah, Nelson just didn't get out of the way and was over the top of the ball. Nelson, he scored a try, but he didn't. Yeah, he did score a try. However, super real discipline, man. Super real disciplined. Alpha says, State of Origin, they should have kept Hammer on the wing and Reece Walsh fullback. Oh, don't start this, for God's sake. Please. I beg we don't go down this path. I just beg. Jay, everyone here who's been a part of the channel knows, please don't go down a path of suggesting Reece Walsh should have been fullback. I'm tired, please. Cowboys now, John Bateman will get this ball to the 40. And now they go to the left-hand side. They're 35 metres out. Clifford off to Duffy. Then Drinkwater. Jackson Purdy away again. Now taking out the 15, fourth tackle. Oh, he's lost the ball. Yep, knock on. Mitchell says Corey Allen would have... We'll see you in a minute. we will see you in a minute, Mitchell. We will see you in a minute. You've got 1 minute, mate. They're going to say this is a strip here from the Storm. They're going to challenge the Cowboys. They might be onto something. Path is now open. What do you mean path is now open? No. So I think he's just making a tackle. I think he's just making a tackle and then he loses it into his knee. No, this is just a knock on. Yep, correct call. So this is just going to be a knock on here from the Cowboys. Dom Finlayson says Reece Walsh fullback and Marcus Harris in the... Alright, we're going on a rampage. We'll see you in a minute too. For the Marcus Harris Sheffield Shield stats. They were dark days on the channel. Bloke saying that Marcus Harris... we never want to go back to those Marcus Harris Sheffield Shield stats days. Alright, 32.5 minutes left here. Jerome Hughes rolls the ball into the scrum. And coming out here from the 15, out the 20, first tackle. Man, Wednesday is going to be nuts, dude. Wednesday is going to be just nuts. It's actually like... It's such a big game. I just hope it's a good, close game. I hope there's no blowout. Like, whoever wins, I just hope it's a close game, man, to make it exciting. I hope that we don't get, like... Because there's going to be massive viewership for the NRL. Just massive viewership everywhere. And it's like, if it ends up being a blowout, it'll just be so disappointing because I know that they're getting into audiences and target and different markets right now across the world on the basis of how close and how good the Origin games have been. Because I can see it in my analytics. So if I'm seeing analytics from places in Africa, places in South America, places in Asia, like India and Pakistan and stuff like that, places that you would never expect to be watching rugby league, then you know the NRL is getting just gigantic viewership in places they, across the world. Jerome Hughes up to Elliot Katoa, and it'll be fifth tackle at the 50. Rory Burns and Hamid with the glory days. No, who was the one? Oh, Jack Leach. Jack Leach's pies. Alright, so it goes back here to the Cowboys Drinkwater, who gets away from one and then taken out of the 18. Will Chambers, don't start me. Don't start me. Bale says, close game is ideal, but Queensland 13 plus would also please me. Yeah, like, sure. Like, as a Queenslander, I would love that. But for the game and the growth of the game internationally, let alone domestically, you definitely want to see a close game. But from a passionate fan of an actual team, then yeah, of course, I would rather Queensland win and Queensland win well, so I don't have to deal with getting trolled into oblivion on Wednesday with over 2,000 people watching here on the live stream. Where's Kane Evans when you need him? He's gone, mate. He's gone. I don't know what he's doing. He's not in the Super League anymore, is he? All right, Storm, bring this ball out from their own 10. And take it down about 13 metres out. 30 minutes to go here of the game. Hit that like button and subscribe. 30 minutes to go. Now second tackle here at the 20. Game's gone a bit slow in this opening 10 minutes of this second half. Gone a little bit slower. But it is tied. Storm are fighting for a second position right now. Casey says, as a Queensland fan, New South Wales win. New South Wales team's just too stacked unless we pull something amazing out of our bums. I can't see us winning, sadly. Well, that's great. You probably would have said that into Game 2 as well, no? You probably would have said that in 2020 as well, no? 2020 team was way more stacked in favour of New South Wales and they didn't win. Way more stacked. And they dominated in Perth, wasn't it? Or was that in Adelaide? No, I think it was in Perth. Or Melbourne, maybe. One of the two. Can never write off any Origin team, man. Even when Queensland went 8 years in a row, followed by a break of 1 year before they went and won 3 years in a row, the games weren't blowouts. Most of the games were not blowouts. Some were. Most of the games weren't blowouts, especially not in deciders. I believe the Dragons are in... Surely not, Mitchell. Surely not. Don't do this to me. So at least both teams have improved their completion rate into the second half. Storm were at 82%, the Cowboys at 79%. Both were at 75% at half time. And Cowboys are away here. Cowboys are away here. Cowboys are away. They've got Drinkwater. That's a try under the post. Try under the post here for Scott Drinkwater and the Cowboys. And they are about to take an 18-12 lead over the Melbourne Storm with 30 minutes to go here of the game. Was Kane Evans the one that had fold bad word on his wristband and got caught for it? That is the one, yes. Yes, that is the one. Logan Balsack says, I'm having a look at the list of Queensland players over the years. Seen a random player called Dunamis Louis in 2020. Who the hell is that? Dunamis Louis is a cult hero, mate. Dunamis Louis is a cult hero. Played for, I think he played for the Dragons. Maybe the Cowboys too. I can't really remember. But I don't think he was a Raider. I think he was Dragons and Cowboys. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. First we go Cowboys. Yeah, Cowboys score. Take the lead 16-12. If they win this game, they will go 10th for the time being. But Manly play the Rabbitohs tomorrow and can jump back above them. 28 minutes left. Oh, I'm getting hungry now. Played for Canberra. Oh, it was Raiders. Well, I did say I didn't. The Raiders was kind of a ringing a bell, but so I was right though about Cowboys and Dragons though. All right, so Drinkwater kicks it through, and it is 18-12 North Queensland. Mitchell with a $10 donation. Says Evans is a chef now. I've seen it all. Is a chef now? Thank you very much for the $10 donation. But chef? As in like a professional chef, or he's just like posting chef videos and stuff on Instagram? Logan Ball takes us wrong about the Cowboys. Well, there you go. Maybe it's just because I'm watching the Cowboys now that my brain went that way. But I need the Dragons. Damn. Getting super hungry now. 18-12. 28 minutes left. Tomorrow's games could be absolutely disgusting as well. Manly Rabbitohs has the best chance of being a good game. But Tigers and Roosters could easily be a blowout of epic proportion. Okay, says Uber Eats time. No, I've got dinner plans tonight at like I said in the first stream today, going to the hotel, it is a hotel, but where they filmed Hangover 2, that rooftop scene. So I'm going there tonight here in Bangkok. And we're having, I don't know if we'll eat dinner there because it's extremely expensive. Like I said, like it's like $70, $60 Australian just for an orange juice there. Just for an orange juice, it costs like 60, 70 Australian. And it's because you don't pay to go up there, but you pay to be there. Do you get roofied for free? I hope not, mate. I hope not. I really hope not. But knowing how Hangover 2 happened, maybe. Just don't get any of those marshmallows out. Mitchell says, don't know the stupid Daily Telegraph wants me to pay to read the article. In regards to Kane Evans, true. Third tackle, oh no, he gets the offload away, second tackle. And the Storm cut it back into the inside. Could have got the offload away, didn't get it away though, Grant Anderson. They take the piss surely. No, I'm not. I really am not. It's extremely expensive. Go and Google it if you want. So I would. Oh, they offload the ball at the back, and then the Storm knocked this ball on. So it's going to be Cowboys ball at the forward. They need to be super careful, man. I'd want the whole experience. Tigers, Mr. Chow. Don't forget the monkey. Don't forget the smoking monkey. Don't forget the smoking monkey. Yeah, Bronson Garlick not even looking at the play. But then again, I would blame the young winger for that. Like Bronson Garlick was organising the next option. $70 for an orange juice, that's bonkers, yeah. No, it's crazy. So that's like, yeah, 1,300 baht or something like that. The OJ comes with a happy ending. No, this place is like super classy. Like ridiculous. Trust me, you don't. 99% of the Cowboys knocked the ball on at first tackle. Trust me, this country, you don't need to be going to that place to be getting a happy ending. There's 99% of places like out in the city, and that is like a fact. $70 orange juice. I better get a free Mike Tyson tattoo with that. No, Mike Tyson better serve me the orange juice for $70. Second tackle now for the Storm at the 50. Mike Tyson better serve me. I really would have liked to have got one of those fake tattoos as a bit of a joke on my face, but I wasn't able to find one. So the Storm now, third tackle, and they're 42 metres away from the line. Nearly dropped that ball too. Josh King at the 35, fourth tackle, 25 minutes left here. 63% of people got behind the Storm too. Jerome Hughes out to Nick Meaney. Means away. This will be a try. This will be a try surely. Oh, yeah, he will get it. He will get it. I thought he'd messed up by not passing the ball out to the right-hand side where he had two open players, but he decided to go to himself. He gets around Drinkwater, and it will be a try time for the Melbourne Storm. Down by just two, and there's a try. Celebration for Try July. 2 points of difference. It's a kick that you would expect them to get, but you can't guarantee it. The orange shoots better be squeezed by Bradley Cooper for $70. That's a thirst trap right there. But yeah, Nick Mee just breaks through the line, and like I said, with ease, this game probably has both teams hitting 20. Bradley Cooper, what a man. What a man. Does he do much nowadays? What is Bradley Cooper doing with himself? I haven't really seen him in any movies recently. Bradley Cooper, he's 50 years old. What's his most recent movies? I'm going to quickly check IMDb here after this try. Hope it's a draw. That'd be the worst thing for the Cowboys, man. The Cowboys do not want a draw. It's the last thing they want. They would rather a loss than a draw, to be fair. He's got 3 upcoming movies. Oh, he's in Superman. He's in the new Superman coming out. Yeah, nothing too big since. Nothing too big since a long time. Like, obviously, he does the voice for Rocket in, like, Avengers and stuff, but he's kind of fallen off a little bit. It's been a game with both teams getting a 50 bomb. Well, no. Sorry, I was thinking you were saying me, if I've ever been to a game. The highest scoring game I can remember is last year's Eels-Dragons game, which was 44-40. I think it was to the Eels, 44-40. Yeah, he's the voice actor behind Rocket, Vales. So Nick Meaney, he should get this. Like, he really should be getting this kick. And he will get the kick. So it is 18-18 with 23 minutes to go here of the game. Good game, this one. Quite a few errors. This is what you're going to get from Origin impacted teams. But at the end of the day, it is a close one. All to play for in the last 23. And I'm just glad they remembered to do the Try July. Because everyone forgets, man. Everyone forgets. And Tan says, why are they saying this is a sellout? There's 17,000 empty chairs. I haven't even noticed. A sellout? Let me have a look. They're currently zoomed into the back of Tyrant Wishart. I'm waiting. Yeah, there is quite a few seats there. On the zoomed. Yeah, there's heaps of seats. Hold it. Damn. And they said this is a sellout? No way. Because there's no way that all those seats would have been filled by the women's game for the Titans Cowboys. Yeah, sure, a few of the women's supporters might have left. But, yeah, no, I agree with you, Entertainer. There's definitely heaps of seats there. Logan says, Cowboys haven't had a sellout since 2022. Well, apparently they're saying this game's sold out, but there is so many seats. And that's a 2-on-1 strip. Yeah, that's a stupid penalty to give away there. That is ridiculous. Caden Lars, what are you doing? That's a ridiculous penalty to give away. He's just... You can clearly see there's a player in the tackle, buddy. They said it sold out on Thursday. Yeah, there is. Mitchell says, good to see Stefano getting a well-deserved rest for Game 3. So the Storm now at the 40. Lasati comes off. Pezzett comes on. Olivia says, they said the Broncos and Wires game was a sellout a couple of weeks ago, but then said there was only 43k. Well, Suncorp's got 52,000 capacity, isn't it? 52.5 or something? And Tana says, they said the sign went up Thursday. What an amazing crowd. A sellout Townsville crowd to see a team without Cotter, Nanai, Dearden and Robson. Yeah, it's strange because there is like 8 players out here for the Storm. 7 or 8 players out for the Storm. And there's like 5 players out for the Cowboys. We're never going to get a sellout here. I don't know why they would say that. 17,000, that's a lot of spare. 4 tackle now, Jerome Hughes. You get me for halfway, Jay. You guys get me for halfway before I realise the... Oh, no. No, Jerome Hughes has stood back up. He's all right. Damn, that looked bad for a second. You get me for halfway through the comp before I realise the dribble. So that's Jonah Pezzett. Jonah Pezzett now puts this ball across. Really bad kick that goes backwards. And Nick Meaney puts that ball up now after they grabbed it. And not drink water. That's Braden Burns who grabs that ball at the 10. Thought about passing it. Would have been a mistake if he had to pass that ball. But first tackle of the Cowboys. Still 21.5 minutes left. Do you reckon the Eels beat the bye this week, Hayden? Do you reckon the Eels can get over the bye this week? I know it's a tough matchup. I know it's a real difficult matchup. But do you reckon the Eels might have a chance? I think it might go down to the wire. My shot is down to the wire. 4 tackle now for the Cowboys at the 40. And Caden Lars, after his mistake, now gets his ball to the 50 on 5th tackle. 20 minutes to go here over the game. Still tied up. Still tied up for the final game of Super Saturday. Hit that like button and subscribe. The Storm will... That's going out in the full. Yep. That goes out in the full from the Cowboys. Well done. So the Storm will now get the ball at the 50. Duffy gives that one away. And Tan says, how funny was Derby kicking it dead? And yeah, Eels will beat the bye. Bye struggles to find points. Eels 30, bye 4. Struggles to find points. They still found 4. That's impressive by the bye. That's really impressive by the bye, to be honest with you. But yeah, it was funny when Derby kicked that ball. It was just... He's actually not... Oh, that's a strip. That's going to be a strip here. I'd challenge that if I'm the Storm. He thought that was stripped immediately. You have to challenge it, especially with how confident he was saying he was. Yeah, they're going to challenge it. I don't know if it was. It's just that he looked very confident that was a strip and there was 3 players in the tackle. And a replay, do you think Titans get the spoon? Well, if you look at the ladder here, mate, it's impossible. If you look at the ladder here, it's impossible, champion. That is definitely a strip there from Griffin Neem. That is definitely a strip. Got on Cowboys at $3.60 yesterday, not bad. That is good odds, Nath, especially considering that this game was always going to be a 50-50 on the origin outs of both teams. 5-7, Storm way players out, and then that's not even including injuries. Like, it was always going to be a toss-up. $3.60 was kind of ridiculous odds. I know they still have Jerome Hughes in the spine, but that's the only spine player that they do have that is on their starters. Cowboys lost Tom Dearden and Robson, but they do still have Drinkwater and Clifford, who they've been playing as their 6. They're not even going to take the kick to the sideline here. They're just going to tap it from the 40. Why? The cheeseburger helped soak up the wine, I think. Well, not really, based off of your spelling there, Olivia. Not really. Olivia Reid to Eliesa Katoa. Olivia Reid to Eliesa Katoa. Damn, she's playing for the Storm. Good on you, Olivia. She's drunk on wine and playing for the Storm. NRL replay starting the Rays first. Well, as you can see here by the ladder, no. The Titans have never lost a game, mate. So Jerome Hughes out to Bronson Garlick, and Garlick's going to be 4 tackle now, 20 metres away. So I don't think you've asked that enough today. It's because I bantered the Bulldogs earlier on in the first stream, Mitchell, so I think he's just trying to, like, get me upset. But I know my team's shit house, so it's like I can take the piss. But that's a high tackle here for the Cowboys. I feel like they're going to call this as a penalty. I reckon they're going to call this as a penalty, which means the Storm will probably take the 2 of them right in front. Yep, it is on report. It is a high tackle. It is a penalty. So the Storm, I would assume, take the 2 here. I love how Cohen Hess is arguing this as if he didn't just contact him high. It's not Cohen Hess, it's Griffin Neem. But, like, regardless, why was Cohen Hess yapping just then? Like, it was pretty obvious that was a high tackle. No, it was Cohen Hess. It was showing us a previous tackle. Cohen Hess, you hit him across the chin. I don't understand why you're arguing it. Today they were 240. Was that because you... Is that because Ryan Pappenhausen wasn't announced he was out yet? Is that when you got on him? Dom Finlay says, why the Titans not on only 34 points? Just because we decide to sacrifice points throughout the season. So what you can do when you're a team as good as the Gold Coast is that you can actually sacrifice points throughout the season, even with wins, just to kind of keep the comp close and exciting. You know, we're just trying to benefit the product of the game. You got to think about the product of the game, the entertainment factor of the game. Dom Finlay says, come on, mate, you got to really understand this. You got to really click on. So, Storm, Nick Meaney from right in front. Hunter says, are you allowed to show the game? Because you asked nicely, my answer is, unfortunately not, due to broadcasting restrictions, man. Because you actually asked and didn't just say, show the game, like most people do. Olivia says, get a job. I mean, that is 20-18, the Melbourne Storm with 18 minutes to go of the game. Imagine if teams could donate points. Well, we have too many to give. We have too many to give. Craig Bellamy doesn't look happy right now. I was going to put sunglasses on, Hamza. I don't even have sunglasses. Every time I buy sunglasses, I lose them very quickly. I don't even have anything that could reflect. So 17 minutes to go here in the game. Okay. Jeez. Clifford kicking this ball off. Yeah, like for them to say this was a sellout is just insane work. Insane. All right, Storm now. Tui Kamikamica. He'll get this ball here to the 10. It'll be first tackle. Asking to use a mirror. Technically, I could do that, but I'm not gonna. Second tackle here at the 15. Looking forward to being told to show the game a million times on Wednesday, though. It's always fun. Third tackle at the 25. I still, like, it will always baffle me. Jerome Hughes gets away here. He's still going at the 45, the 50, and then taken down 4 tackle at 50. It still baffles me that, like, people know full well that you can't show the game live. Like, they know full well. And yet, like, you still get people saying, show the game! That's not having to go at you, Hamza. That's having to go at people, other people who will scream and shout. That's a, oh, good catch. Wow, how did Derby catch that? It baffles me because they're literally looking for an illegal stream. No, they've called it a knock-on. They have called it a knock-on here against Robert Derby, so the Storm will get the ball here at the 10. And they have lost their challenge, I'm pretty sure, the Cowboys. Yeah, they have. I don't know if he did knock that ball on or not. I think that might have come off Grant Anderson and gone backwards, and then Derby actually touched it, but and then grabbed it. Unless I don't actually know if he touched that ball. If you could show the game, would you? Well, of course I would. If you could legally show the game, of course, that would benefit greatly because then but you'd be literally stealing viewership from the NRL, which is the whole point. You'd be stealing viewership from the Fox and also from Channel 9, which is the reason why you can't do that. But of course. So first tackle now, 8 metres out from the line. And then they get off to Pezzett, then Tui Kamikamica, and Kamikamica is second tackle, 7 metres away from the line. 15 and a half minutes to go here of the game. The Storm score here. They'll bring it to outside of a 2-try game if they can convert it. Jerome Hughes, Jonah Pezzett short ball. That's a try time for Nick Meaney, following up beautifully underneath. And it is 24-18 with the kick to come, and he celebrates for try July. And Angelica earned herself a nice little timeout there. Only one S in Storm, Angelica. Only one S. S-T-O-R-M. Full stop. No plural. No plural. But it is a try time for Nick Meaney. And that is a plural for him. Actually, did he score a try early on? Pretty certain he did, didn't he? Yes, he did. That is a plural for him. He has scored 2. Maybe that's where Angelica got confused. Maybe that's where she got confused. But 24-18 now with a kick to come. And if they get the kick, it'll be an 8-point game with less than 15 minutes to go. And the Storm are looking like they're going to be jumping over the top of the Dogs into second position. And the Cowboys are looking to stay right where they are in 12th. But there's still plenty of time. 15 minutes is a long time. Cases, how long you reckon a stream that is showing the game would last? Like 5 minutes tops? Less. On YouTube specifically, less. Other apps and other platforms, maybe more than 5 minutes, but YouTube specifically less. So basically what you can do to know if someone is like stealing your content effectively is that the NRL would be privately putting the game on live on YouTube, and then because the game is on live, and then you would put it on after. So for example, they would probably start their live stream up a half an hour beforehand. And I'm assuming this is what they do. They would start their live stream up a half an hour beforehand on the official NRL channel. And then basically you would start your live stream up when the game starts of the game. And then YouTube will say that somebody else is basically using the same content as you. And then NRL will just copyright that immediately. Mitchell says that try celebration was something. I didn't actually recognize what he was doing. I just noticed that he was doing something. So basically, it could be done within 5 seconds if the NRL was quick enough to see it. Oh, okay, I get you. They're swimming on top of each other. That was a great offload there from Sean Blore and Nick Meaney. So 26-18, they do get the conversion. It's an 8-point game. Still plenty of time, but Cowboys, you just got to find a way here at home. Got to find a way here at home. I did say the Storm in a very close one, but who was this? Someone said 26-18, didn't they? Someone said 26-18. It might have been the opposite way around. They might have said Cowboys 26 and Storm 18. Oh, no. I don't know where it was. Oh, here, back here. No, I can't even see it. Someone predicted a similar scoreline to this, though. All right, third tackle for the Storm at the 33. Don't forget, we'll be live for the Rabbitohs Manly and also Roosters Tigers tomorrow. Wishart breaks through to the 50. It looks like the Storm have got all the momentum right now. Some games are for free on YouTube with the NBA. But American sports are a lot more free-willing with their content because they know it's gaining an audience. And also, they work on a very different system to Australia. It's not every single NBA game will be free. It's just, there are games already for the last year or two that have, there's like one game a day or something for free on YouTube, I think. Third tackle now for the Cowboys, and they'll be at the 15. But Pace has put up a fight against the OKC. Look, if Tyrese Haliburton didn't get injured in the final game of Game 7, like he was on one in that first quarter before he got injured, it would have gone down to the wire, dude. OKC Pacers would have been one of the best Game 7 finals in recent memory if Haliburton had cracked on, but unfortunately he did get injured. So the Storm now at the 25, and that's all part of the game. Now to the 35, to the 40. Now the issue though is that Indiana have now decided they're not really looking to continue and pursue high competition at the top because they're not signing. I can't remember who the player's name is, but anyway, Haliburton's not there next year because he's injured, and they've got a lot of problems next year, Indiana. And knock on for the Storm, so that's going to allow the Cowboys maybe a chance back into this game at the 42 on their own side of the field. Should be every Wizards, Hornets, and Jazz games. Oh, it'll be... Oh, damn. Craig Bellamy is fuming right now. Fuming. Miles Turner's one of them, yeah. Miles Turner's gone. Haliburton, obviously... No, that's why I was thinking about the Bucks and their decision with Damian Lillard and then Miles Turner coming to them. If, in my opinion, if Hallie didn't get injured, Pacers would have got chipped right now. No, I think OKC still win it, but I think it would have been a very good game. And Cowboys out of the left-hand side here. They're away to the 30, the 25, and we're just short of going over the sideline. Third tackle. And he's lost the ball. Oh, dude, Cowboys. Joe Chan with a fantastic tackle on Braden Burns and forces the error. When isn't Bellamy fuming? It's a great question, Dom. He's always fuming. Like, his team is up 26-18 right now with 7 Origin players. Oh, not 7 Origin players, but 7 players out. And yet he's still super angry. He's still super angry. What should I have for food tonight? Should I have Thai food? I've had plenty of Thai food in the last 2 months. I should have, like, Western food, foreigner food. I don't know. Ever since going to the fitness retreat, though, like, I used to be obsessed. You guys know how obsessed I was with pizzas for so long. I don't even care for a pizza anymore. Maybe it's because pizza in Asia is just not as good as back home, in my opinion. So much food is better, but pizza's just not it in Asia. Alright, so right-hand side of Josh King. Snake against the Sushi. Sushi's a shout. Sushi is a shout. At the Twig Cabin Kamitha, now third tackle, and they'll be halfway. 10 minutes to go of the game. 10 minutes to go. Hit that like button and subscribe. Storm now, 40 metres out. Alec McDonald. If they score again, it's game over. Wishart, Jerome Hughes, and Hughes will be at the 30 on fifth tackle. Wishart goes inside. Little dink underneath with a grubber, and it's actually a really good kick if it sits up. Oh, it will go dead. 7 tackle set for the Cowboys coming up. Craig Bellamy he is actually livid, dude. Like, he's actually off his rocker right now. Lasagna classic. Bro, I'm in Bangkok. I can't, lasagna is not really a thing here. Ask for, excuse me, Casey? Excuse me? That is 5 minutes worthy, Casey. That is 5 minutes worthy. How dare you refer to as a Palmer here? How dare you refer to as a Palmer? You have a good thing to yourself in the next 5 minutes. It is a Palmy. Parmesan. Not the Parmesan, a Palmy. Palmy, Casey. How dare you? So third tackle now for the Cowboys at the 30. Oh my gosh, Casey, you've done yourself a massive mischief there. John Bateman now at the 20. He gets the offload away. They're still going, and now they'll be 15 minutes out. Fourth tackle. Fourth tackle. 8.5 minutes left. If the Cowboys can score here, it's game on, baby. Out to the left to Duffy. Duffy, short ball. And they'll be about 7 metres out. Oh, and they cut back to the right. A little bit confusing there. Clifford puts it underneath, and that's just going to be Storm ball. There's nothing wrong with that hit. And it will be first half for the Storm, 3 minutes out. Gent says, it would be sick if the NRL would support you. I appreciate your support, man. You know, we do our own thing. We enjoy doing our own thing, travelling overseas, getting to watch the game, talk with you guys about the sport, and just kick back, man. So, it's nearly impossible for the NRL to support someone like me because I do openly speak my mind about like the NRL and whatnot, whether it be the officiating, which is going to be the biggest part. Ultimately, the NRL isn't really too concerned with people having opinions on teams and players and whatnot, within reason, as long as you're not like going at them as an individual or as a character, like as who they are as a person. As long as you're being within reason, the issue that the NRL will always take really a big stance against is creators or people in general criticising the officiating, because ultimately the referees are their staff. They are staff in their game, so they just don't have any time for people criticising. That's why you see if any content creator is doing something with the NRL, usually I don't think you will ever see severe criticism of an officiator. Now, Jay says, need Wishart for 1 and either Anderson or Brown to score. Still 7 minutes to go, but I don't know about 2 tries there. Looking at time to get by the looks of it. Ryan Crumple6 says, someone donate this man 1 billion so he can be the only one with streaming rights. I think it's like 4 billion, but you know what? Let's just crowdfund it. Let's crowdfund 4 billion Australian dollars so I can go toe-to-toe with Fox. So second tackle now, 7 minutes out. 7 minutes to go from the game. So if we have 4 people who donate 1 billion, we're on here. We are on. You are dog, Rian. You are a dog, and you know it. You're gonna get. I don't even need to do the timeout here. I don't even need to do the timeout. You're done, Rian. You're done, mate. You're a disgrace. You are a disgrace. You need to have a good, long, hard look at yourself in the mirror and realise that you are a clown. Scott Drinkwater at the 25. That is a disgraceful comment. And they knock it straight back into the Storm where Sean Bloor picked it up at the 25. The bloke said, having a Palmer, watching the Storms with an S with a vanilla coat to wash it down. That is really questionable human being kind of stuff. I would really question if you're from this planet, mate. It's a year ban. Mate, that's nearly a decade ban. So Storm now, he'll get it off to Nick Meaney. And Meaney on third tackle to the 42. 6 minutes to go here in the game. Jerome Hughes gets taken at the halfway point. Oh, Jay's timed out NRL replays. Who do you think? I would have answered I'll answer your question anyway, NRL replays. But Jay, I don't know why you timed him out there, mate. But who do you think will win the grand final? I've probably got. I don't know. Right now, I know people are really questionable on him, but I think the Storm might find a way. The Raiders are going to be there though. Ryan Crumplesticks, you're a liar. You're a filthy liar. You are a filthy, filthy liar. You do not call it a Palmer in New South Wales because the only cats, and I'll say it again, the only cats that call it a Palmer are people in Victoria because they are a different breed of human being. There is no, New South Wales does not call it a Palmer. Exactly right. Dave says, do we? No, you don't. And I know you know that because you just said, do we? So 5 minutes to go here in the game, and it's going to be a penalty to the Cowboys. Like it says, go home, bro. No, we don't. Oh, Ryan Crumplesticks. I don't know where in New South Wales you live. Maybe Uppy or Samoa, where a lot of the Origin teams born. So it's, it's going to be Cowboys ball here at the 40 on the Storm side of the field. Rogue to the bone. Jay, you are rogue, mate. Timing out NRL replays is just wild stuff. Zach Hewitt, member for 29 months, has no team, no worries. Yeah, well, the Cowboys also have no team, but they do have worries, so that's the difference. Mitchell says, Musty from Parramatta. Surely there's no, unless, maybe like South Coast, maybe like close to the Victorian border, they might call it a Palmer, where they're wrong as well. Alright, so 4 minutes to go here of the game. Cowboys, they are about 10 metres out here from the line. Sure, the only place that I would maybe think would call it a Palmer in New South Wales would be extremely South Coast, close to the border of Victoria and New South Wales. Second tackle now, 7 metres away. Ryan Crumplesticks, where are you from in New South Wales, buddy? Where are you from? Tell us right now so we can dox you, so we can tell you to never call it a Palmer again. All right, first tackle now, 3 metres out. They give it to, out the back to Drinkwater. Chance here, Robert Derby. No, Braden Burns, sorry. Braden Burns will be 7 metres away from the line. Second tackle, 3 minutes 44 to go. They have to score on this set. They have to score on this set right now. Scott Drinkwater gets it across to Duffy. Duffy over to Clifford. Clifford taken down 13 metres out, third tackle. If you get a penalty, you do take the 2 to bring it back within 6. And they've kicked it through. This is it. Oh, it's a dropout. It's a dropout coming up here. So they've still got another chance at this next set. But they have to score on this attack and possession. Jerome Hughes is definitely feeling something. Like he was down. It looked like he was injured before. Maybe it might be just a cramp, but Craig Bellamy stormed out of the box before. He is livid, dude. Take the 2, trust me. Yeah, Nate, if I'm going to trust anyone, I'm going to trust you about the Dragons and taking the 2. Honestly, lay my life down the line for it at this point. Lay my life down the line. Yeah, Hughes is definitely feeling it, man. And that's a penalty. I take the 2 from in front. It's a penalty for not taking the the dropout in time. So if I'm the Cowboys, I take the 2 here. I would actually take the 2 here. I'm not even taking the piss out of you, Nate. I would take the 2 to bring it within 6. They are going to take the 2. I think this is a smart decision. You are now within a 1-score game because it's right in front. The Storm do not take the kick in time. Time on. 2 minutes 45 left here. They will get the ball back. And Drinkwater puts the ball over. So it's 26-20 with 2.5 minutes to go here at the game. Hit that like button and subscribe. Zach Hewitt says, if I owned a pub, I'd refuse to serve anyone who asked for a palmy with an A. Exactly right. Zach, that's exactly right. And that's coming from a Victorian. That's exactly right. You know what? Don't even not serve them. Get into fisticuffs with them. Slap them. Don't even slap them. Give them a backhand for the more disrespectful action. Like, if you do like a slap like this, like, it's bad. But if you do like a slap like this, that'll teach them. That'll teach them right now. 2 minutes 38 to go here in the game. 6 points the difference. Craig Bellamy's back in the box. He is back in the box. That membership milestone may not age well. It might not. But at least I appreciate you for being a member for 29 months. I think you'll be fine. I don't think the Cowboys score here, but I've seen crazy things happen. For example, a situation that's currently gone on at Arsenal. First tackle now for the Cowboys at the 15. Charge them double for a skilly too. I don't even want their dirty money. Charge them double, mate. Like, I don't even want it. Ryan says, mate, well done. You are, mate, you make me angry. Third tackle for the Cowboys at the 30. I ate well done steaks with tomato sauce. Don't take my word for it. No, I won't. I never have and I never will. All right, Cowboys, 4th tackle, 2 minutes to go. They will probably get a good 2-3 tackles, even if they don't score on this set here. Cowboys short ball. They offload it out to Clifford. Clifford short ball. They're away here. The Cowboys at the middle, at the 30, the 25. Oh my gosh, they're actually here. 5th tackle. Minute 44 to go here. Minute 44 to go. They go to the right hand side of Drinkwater. Drinkwater gives it across here to John Bateman. John Bateman underneath here to Clifford. Clifford back here to Drinkwater. Drinkwater at the 15. He rolls out of the left hand side. Oh no. Minute 24 to go. Oh no. Oh, it was so exciting until Drinkwater went for a kick and he kicked it into row Z. Lucas says, Ryan, you don't deserve steaks. Don't worry, we timed him out for the rest of his stream. I think it was 2 weeks ago. And he earned it. He knows he earned it and he knows he deserves it. So, minute 20 to go here. The time is off. Drinkwater got tackled as he was kicking it and he hit it into row Z. Langan Ballsack says, if I hear Palmer at my restaurant, I'd undercook the chicken, spit it in it, then get a Kane Evans uppercut. You better give him a Kane Evans uppercut, mate. Minute 18 to go here of the game. He kicked that ball to Jay. The ball was closer to Jay than it was to the winger Braden Burns there. So first tackle, and Jay is in Perth for people who don't know, which is outside of Australia. So first tackle. And I would assume the Cowboys will get 2 tackles minimum. Maximum 3, but probably just... No, they will get... it might just be 2 tackles. It did land in China. No, I know. It landed just outside of your window. Third tackle off to Nick Meaney. Now 4th tackle here for the Storm. 45 metres out. At least we've got 2 close games here on Super Saturday. The last one was a lot more closer overall, but this has still been a close enough game. The Broncos are not making top 3. So Jerome Hughes dinks a little grubber underneath. Oh no. It's gone backwards there. It's going to be a dropout. That was really good stuff there from Jerome Hughes. So with 19 seconds left here, the Cowboys are going to have to drop this ball out with a short kick, knock it back, and then run 90 metres and score off the one play. Mitchell says, the ball got there before the people threatening Jay. What a bunch of slackers. Stranger Danger says, Jay, you cat. No need to come to the other channel and make fake account to get... What other channel? What are we talking about? To get someone's attention. Jay, what have you done? What other channel are we talking about? Who else is doing this game? TJ? Jay wouldn't have gone to TJ's stream. Lagan says, Blaze, you see that ball go past your window? In Thailand, well, my window's closed. It probably did, though. It probably did. But the final score here will be 26-20 to the Melbourne Storm. 26-20. The Storm will now go into second. The Bulldogs will drop a... Oh, okay. No, I don't think Jay would have done that, mate. But anyway. But the Bulldogs will drop into third. The Storm will go up into second position. And there'll be 2 points sitting behind the Canberra Raiders, but with a much better points differential, obviously. The Storm are sitting pretty up there, despite the fact that they've got all their players out. And then the Cowboys, unfortunately, they had a lot of players out too, but they do sit there in 12th position. They won't drop off because the Knights and Eels have already received their bye. Their points differential is obviously pretty bad, but it doesn't really matter because they're on the uneven point situation. If the Manly Seagulls win tomorrow, it's going to be even tougher of an ask for the Cowboys. There's another team up top there, but in that top 8 battle. But yeah, tough one here for the Cowboys. I don't know who they play next week, actually. Let's quickly have a look who they play next week. Who do the Cowboys and the Storm play next week? So, round 19, the Cowboys... Oh, this is taking a while to load. Why is this taking a while to load? So, round 19, the Storm will play the Knights in Newcastle, and the Cowboys play the Bulldogs. Damn, that's not a game you want to be facing right now, considering how the Bulldogs have been the last couple of weeks. Yes, they've lost, but they're going to be really fired up for a win next week. But anyway, there we go, guys. That is the end of the game. Storm defeat the Cowboys. I'll see you tomorrow for the Rabbitohs and Manly, and then also Roosters and Tigers. Thumbs up, subscribe. I appreciate you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.